time and time again, Mr. Lucario proves why having games saves your life. Undefeated once again.
That guy saw debates where Lucario and I were punching each other. That guy is not getting women and never will get women because he'll always be in a fight when there's no fight. Bro, there was no fight, Jay Walker. So far, I've done nothing but respect him, and I have not felt disrespect.
No, we just talking, guys. We just it's a dialogue. This ain't even, Ice White likes to do the verses. He's trying to put everyone against each other.
No, it's beautiful, but like I'm trying to say something about the fact that
shout out to Ice White.
Jay Walker, your own syntax and grammar demonstrates what you reflect when it's in front of you. You understand that? There's not been one moment of winning or losing here. I've made sure I was not in competition, just so you know. So if you saw competition, you saw competition. You definitely did. But that means you see competition where there really wasn't one. It would take two to tug a war, and I'm not pulling on nothing. Okay?
Thanks. Thanks for the super chat. So back to those examples I was giving. Let's take that guy from 7-Eleven, working 8 hours a day, entrepreneur. They got different jobs, obviously. One has a risk potentially if it's early stages of entrepreneurship. The other guy just, maybe he's young, he just works there, whatever. He might work somewhere else at some point. So I see myself that the underlying theme or the core of game itself is leadership tied with masculinity. And if you're lacking masculinity, what I realized more recently, it means you're probably lacking leadership. So maybe how much is this really tied to the career? Is it more to do with leadership, or is it, for example, you could have a relationship for a few years where you do have a job that sucks and doesn't pay you much, but your relationship game for the first part, at least, is carried by your ambition. So what do you guys think about that in terms of the aspects of leadership, ambition? Is it about that rather than straight up being able to support a huge family from day one?
Well, the thing you got to understand is when we talk about even relationships, right? Just in general, we talk about leadership and all that, and masculinity, all those other things. The most important relationship that you will ever have is with yourself. Right. So that's the first thing. Like you have to, and having a relationship with yourself means that you recognize how valuable you are. You check in with yourself, you love yourself, and then you be true to yourself. Right. That's the first thing. Because what happens is that most people, what they do is they look outside of themselves to try to relate to someone outside themselves. Right. And then this is where people get lost, because then they start living for other people. And when you start living for other people, then you end up disregarding yourself. Like if you see in the news lately, there was a story that just came out where this guy, he murdered his entire family. Like this, I think he had like 6 kids and a wife, and he unalived all of them. And then he unalived himself, right? And so this type of story, has been happening multiple times, you know what I'm saying, with lots of men and their families. You see what I'm saying? And then so what happens is that the reason why those things go down is because that man, he didn't have a good relationship with himself. And in a lot of cases, he's disregarding himself for everyone else. You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to leadership, guidance, and all those other things, right, that has to be instilled in you so that when you relate to those other people, your family, your woman, whatever it is, then you can accurately lead the situation, and you're not making it about them, but you're making it about yourself. And then by extension, they get to benefit off of you making it about yourself. Do you see what I'm saying? So the mistake that a lot of guys make, especially with women, is most guys, what they do is they do things for women. And that's where they make the mistake. And so you're not being a leader doing things for women. You always have to do things for yourself. And then the woman is going to basically benefit as a byproduct. Because this is the thing. Any woman that you're with, or you're interacting with, girlfriend, wife, fuck buddy, whatever it is, that woman could basically just leave at any moment. You understand what I'm saying? Period. Right? So when guys make it about the woman, when the woman does leave, that's when they get into the deep depression. They want to unalive themselves and her and do all this other crazy stuff, right? And that's because from the beginning, they didn't have a relationship with themselves. Now, if we talk about, like stuff like finances, job, and all this other stuff, those things are cool, but those things are after the fact and that's surface level. So if you're worried about how much money you're making, or if you're an employee, or if you're a boss, whatever, all of that stuff really doesn't matter. What matters is, who are you, right? How do you view yourself? Do you value yourself? And that's the entire foundation. If that foundation is not there, anything that you do, anything that you're saying, anything that you're getting involved in, right, is not going to benefit you, because your foundation is flawed. You see what I'm saying? So if you're looking for things outside of yourself to validate you, then your whole foundation is flawed. Because when those things change, so for example, let's say I'm this big businessman, and then I end up, running out of money, or my business fails. Right now, I'm going to feel like I'm not worthy. And then therefore, there's going to be a lot of destruction after that. If I have a job and I get fired and I feel like my worth was my job, then once I get fired, I'm going to feel you see what I'm saying? Those are the things that make men fuck up. You see what I'm saying? And then therefore they have all these, ridiculous outcomes at the end of the day when they're dealing with their women or their family or whatever it is like that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That's what I got to say. Mm-hmm.
Right. There's a comment here which we can get into. There's this guy saying there's no such thing as a relationship game. Game is game. But Mr. LaCroix was just saying there are guys who are slaughtering their entire family and then shooting themselves. So how can you say there's no such thing as a relationship game? Like,
relationship
there are guys who are
your
getting
character is tested, man. This is the
exactly.
This is why I would respect me if I didn't know me. Yeah, I would first look at the quality of women I'm with, how they act, and then I would just ask myself what it would take to hold one of those women loyal for as long as they've been at the level they are. And then you would begin to understand why it's important that I'm around right now. See, nobody's existence outside of myself right now, whoever's listening, can affect my trajectory in any way possible. Even if Donald Trump came here and was like, you know what, I would like you to be my advisor. It could happen one day. That would be great, but it wouldn't change my trajectory. I'm going exactly where I need to go, and I know where I'm at. This is very important to me. Why? Because the technology that I have, it's a technology, everybody. Ask the people around me, you would have your mind blown. Or why don't you come see it yourself? Come to Las Vegas, whoever, go out with me. You'd think you know. You have no idea what's happening here. I swear on anything that's important to me, and swearing is for people that are liars, but it's used as emphasis here. Okay? My mother and everything. I swear on everything. Everything you ever saw on Star Wars, Marvel Comics, I swear on everything I have. I'm capable of some things like that visibly in front of your eyes, and there's no other explanation for it. There's absolutely no other way you could explain it. So we've left what you guys call a game a long time ago. Me and a group of guys that I brought as scientists to watch me. They're online. That's how dedicated they are. They're always around. They're watching me. They've been watching me. This is a real thing. I'm talking to you guys now on a podcast, and I'm being as real as I can. Okay, so you see why I look like this. Listen carefully. I've discovered a fucking technology that's unstoppable. You wouldn't believe what I can do with this shit. It is written in mythology. It is written in the old books. It's written in comics, in your anime. I'm not only one who can do it. I've been able to trigger pieces of it in my students. We can't seem to stabilize it. And it all has to do with structure and a whole realistic science of the nervous system that's going to blow your mind if you get near it. And I'm protecting it. I'm protecting it the way one would protect things against Men in Black. That is exactly what this is. I swear on everything I have, you would not believe my life if you sat in it. You would not believe my life if you sat in it.